Welcome again. Sorry about that interruption. We're now going to go to our program again. Remember that we had our object that we created using constructor create in the add learner. Over here we construct our create object using all of these, our learner, and then we navigate with this button. Was going to go here and display the information so far in the rich edit, and then we were going to add marks to the learner. Now in this btn edit we're going to go and we get the marks from this spin edit. We're going to get the course ID using obj, the object get course ID. Then we're going to go through the table one row at a time, and while b found is false, so remember we want to stop the loop when we find the right course. We're going to say if tbl course square brackets course inverted commas course ID, if that equals this ID there, then we're going to do a number of things in begin and end, quite a few things. We can go and get the description, we can get the amount that is due for that course, we can get what the b half is. So s description will be equal to tbl course square brackets the description from that row of the table. We'll also get the amount due for that course from the field in the table called cost. We'll also get if it's half or not. B half will be equal to tbl course what that field is, true or false in the half year field, half year. So we have all of those three things that we can use, and we've got our marks, and then we also need to set b found equals true to stop this loop from going any further. Now after we've got all of those things, we're now going to go and set, using our class definition, we'll use increase balance and add marks to that learner and we'll set the course name as well. Increase balance, so there's procedures, increase balance, add marks, and set course name. We'll add that to the learner. So we'll say obj learner dot increase balance, and that will be our amount. It'll go in there. Don't forget these are procedures, so you just write them. Dot add marks, you don't know equal signs involved here. Marks will be the I marks from the spin edit. Remember the spin edit on this thing there. So we put I marks in here in brackets, and then obj learner dot, what do we want to do? We want to set the course name, and that will be s descript, that one there, and then we're going to say read out dot clear, and then we'll say read out dot lines dot add, and obj learner dot to string. So it will refresh the display in the rich edit. So let's go and I'll show you how it works. Let's hope it works there. I haven't got a b found boolean variable here set. So let's go to add a learner first. We're going to choose a course here. I'm just going to use those words and that date. Add learner. Now it's going here. Now if I go and add some marks here, I don't have to, but if I want to, then I can do that. And then there it's giving the balance owing. Now if we're happy with all this information, we check that, then we will write it to the database. So we'll have a button to say, okay, save this data. So this gives them a chance to check everything. If they're not happy, then what we will do is we'll have a button to go back to this tab sheet and destroy the object altogether and create it again. That's my thinking on it. I'm sure you can probably find a better way, but I think this is one way to do it. So over here in Edit Learner, I'm going to say a button for saying okay and a button for saying not okay. So this button will be for saving, btn save learner in the database. We can now then go and save the learner into the database. This button will be to btn redo, which means we have to go and this. If we want to add a learner, we have to go and enter all the information again. btn add learner. So btn add learner, or to actually, so if to make it, I will just basically put a different name there. I will, for the caption, just to show you what I think is going to work here, is to re-enter learner or add a new learner. So it has two ways. Right, now this save the learner is going to be a bit tricky. We have to go and get all of those fields and we need to get it using our class definition. So guess what? Functions all the way. Function get name string, function get balance. Now this is tiresome because we have a lot of fields here. If you use a smaller table with fewer fields, then you wouldn't have to do this. So it might be better to use our object class definition with this table there. But I'm using this table. It doesn't matter, you can use either one. Function get course ID. We need the course ID, not so. When we add our learner to the table, the actual table itself, start date, get date colon string, function get cell colon string, function get email colon string. I think that's all the fields. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't need to get the course name because the course name is only for display in this rich edit over here. When we use the toString, we use the toString to display the course name here. So I don't need to get the course name. So all of these things is how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we don't need to get the course name. So let's go and implement all of this. Control-Shift-C. Result colon equals if. What is the balance? It is called if balance. I think it's called if balance. Yes, it is. Just memorize these. If start date, if balance, if marks, if course ID. If balance. To get the cell, result equals if cell. Let's copy and paste this. Course ID, result, oh, got that already. Equals if start. Gosh, I hope it is if start, otherwise I'm in trouble. if email, if marks, hope that's right too, if name. Let's run and see if it's right. We'll see now. Function get course. Oh, there's one already. Yeah, we already got a get course ID, so we don't need to use that again, thank goodness. And we better delete. Oh, we've got it there, so that's fine. Right, if start date probably. Yep, it's if start date. Sometimes it's quicker to just run the program and see what errors there are than to go and find them. Begin and end. So that's fine. So it is running. Now all we have to do is finish the code to get all of those things and set it into our thing. It's not going to be so difficult actually, because what you're going to do is remember insert is an easy thing to do with engdm do begin and end tbl learner dot insert, and then all you have to do is say tbl learner square brackets, all those things, and this is where you have to remember the database table names: learner name, learner cell, learner email account balance, and so on. Learner name equals, and I'm going to copy and paste this, learner cell learner email what is the other things? Account balance, account balance, and then the other one is wrong one, account balance marks so far, date started, marks so far, and there's one S I hope, and then the other one is marks so far, dates started and course ID, date started, started, and course ID. And then after you've done all of that, you've got to do dot post, and that's all. And then of course we'll refresh. Okay, we'll do the refresh dot post, and then we have to say tbl learner dot active equals false, tbl learner dot table name learner, then tbl learner dot active equals true, and set grid column widths. So now I haven't finished dv grid. I think it's 5. I'm not sure. 5. I'm not sure. Let's go and check the dv grid for that particular tab sheet. Yep, that was a good guess. That's it. But we haven't done this here. obj learner dot get. Now we've got to find all those functions, get name and so on. Get name, and then obj learner dot get cell. Never get cell. And then obj learner dot get email, and then obj learner dot get balance. There it is, there. And then obj learner dot marks get marks, and then obj learner dot like I said, do a class definition of get date of your smaller table, get course ID, and that's it. That should work. We can check it out, see if it does. Add a learner. Right. We're choosing the course that the learner's going to do, the name and cell number, and the date, add learner. Let's go and put some marks in. And then that's that. And then if you save the learner, so we'll see. And let's have a look. Where is it? There it is. Mark so far 7, date started. Sorted. Now, what if you want to re-enter a learner? So we're going to go back to the page. We're actually going to destroy this object and go back to the page, to the tab sheet, add a learner. But what if we wanted to edit an existing learner? Well, that is something else that we have to do. Now, I've used 2 tab sheets over here to add a learner so that we could actually do that. But we'll think about how we will edit a learner once we've got it in. Might do it the simplest way or the difficult way. Like for instance, we want to change their cell phone number and so on. But let's just go and make sure we can re-enter a learner. So what happens is we go to TBS add learner. So pgc.activePage equals TBS add learner. We will also destroy obj learner dot destroy, and that'll give us so everything that is saved will now be in the object in memory for the one object will now be deleted. So that is one way to do it. So add a learner, then it'll go to this particular tab sheet. Now this TBS edit learner obviously is used for the class in conjunction with this TBS add learner, just to make more space available. We can make another tab sheet and we can call this tab sheet something else. You can change any name you want. You're in control of your program. I'm going to call this TBS add 2, and then I'll make another tab sheet for editing a learner proper, so that you can actually choose the learner's name there and then change the email and so on, just like you did here in edit course, which would be a long story, but I think you can do that on your own. So we'll make another tab sheet just for now, new page, call it TBS edit learner. Right, so edit and delete are actually quite easy. Now in your TBS edit learner you'll have another database grid, DB grid, okay, DB grid, and you will connect that to the you will connect it with the data source over here to the correct table name, which is be the learner table, and then you will, in the on show event, you will make sure that it is connected and set the grid column widths, which I will copy and paste over here from this one. DB grid, which I think it will be 7, I'm not sure. Let's have a look at the database grid. It's 8. Okay, it's DB grid 8. That's why I keep the numbers, because it's quite easy to, you know, not change the names. It's quite easy just to look at the numbers. Right, now we have this thing set up, and we know that there's a lot of stuff that we can change about a learner. Name, the cell. Do we want to change the name? We actually want to change their cell or their email. And are we going to do something different with the account balance and the marks so far? We're going to use, we're not going to change the date started, we're not going to change the course. If we're going to change the course, then we're going to basically make a new learner, really, you know, and we can delete the learner later. But the account balance and the marks so far, we'll use text files to update all accounts and all marks. So we can assume that there will be like a monthly run of marks and money owing. So if people have paid certain amounts, then we will take that off their balance. But for normal editing, their cell and the email are the main things, so we'll just worry about that. Cell and email, and of course then the name of the person as well, which will have to be chosen from a combo box, which is the better way to do it. I know you can also just click on the learner's name there, but the more professional way is to actually have the learner chosen from a combo box. So name, property, CMB, edit and edit, name, edit learner, and I'll call this EDT new email and EDT new cell. So it's really going to be quite simple. I'm not going to make anything complicated here. They're going to choose a name, and then if they want to go and put in a new cell there, yeah, well, I suppose we should actually have an option for choosing one or the other. That would probably be a good idea. Maybe another radio group box. And in there you put the caption, choose one, and I'm just going to give a name for this quickly. RDG choose one, for want of a better word. And the items, I'm going to choose change name, change email, sorry, address, change cell number, so they can choose and change one of those. And then these things can be visible, and you must make sure you have captions on top here. You can't just have blank. You've got to make sure everything's got captions and the text is cleared and so on. And I don't need to tell you that again, I'm sure, but I'm going to make these invisible by just making the visible property false. So EDT new email and EDT new cell. Now I'm going to use my on change event or on click event of this radio group box. Case RDG choose one dot item index of 0 and 1. So we'll call it EDT email dot visible equals true, and this can be EDT cell dot visible colon equals true. Now I hope this is the names of these edit boxes. Oh no, it's not the names, those are the other names. New EDT new email, EDT new cell. So I can't just do that, eh? Okay, so that's just going to do, that's the radio group box on click event. So you just click on it once. So, yeah. What we can do in these, maybe make two options here, in case the person clicked incorrectly or something. I don't know. We'll make the other one false. So in begin and end we'll have two things happening here. The one will be true and the other one will be false. You'll see now what I'm talking about. So, well, the one is true, the other one must be false, just to make sure that is the case. We only want one to show. So there we go. All right, now don't forget to do file save all. If you don't do that, you're going to have a problem. Right, now we've got that, and those will be visible, and then we'll make a button to actually change. So this is the actual button for changing. Name, btn change this, for want of better words. And don't forget, you must write proper captions and labels and everything, so the user knows exactly what's going on. Otherwise you'll lose marks for real. So we're going to get the learner's name. We're going to look up the learner. So right, we need our variables. VARS name colon string. So s name will be equal to CMB EDT learner. CMB what? Edit CMB edit learner dot text. And then I'm going to use a case structure again, because I don't want to get, I don't want to get mixed up with this lot. Only one of them is going to be visible. Case RDG choose one dot item index of 0 1, because that will still be available. Okay, the radio group box item index will still be available here, and it will read off which one was chosen, so we can actually say, okay, we're going to, for 0 it's email, so EDT new email, and then we can go and change all of that. But both of them are strings, therefore we only need one variable name. Actually, I only need to do one thing here. I just need to get the string. Wait, I actually do need to. I need to do more than one thing. Darn it. Begin and end. Right. Begin and end. Yeah. Fine. It's going to be more complicated than I thought. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. For email, so semail, semail colon equals edt new email dot text, and for this one we'll get, don't forget, only one of these things are going to happen. Edt new cell dot text, only one of them will happen at a time. Like for instance, if this one is chosen, if the first one, then only that will happen in this code, in this button click, and this will not happen. But because it's semail, we actually have to go and edit the email of the learner. We also have to find the primary key of the learner, num. We'll give it we know that those primary keys are all integers. And yes, we have to go through the table dot first, and one row at a time. And you know what? Let's go and find a code. Did we fill this combo box up already? I don't think so. Or maybe we did. No, we didn't. We didn't fill it up yet. We have to fill up the combo box too. Let's fill up the combo box first. CMB edit learner. CMB edit learner dot first. Dot clear, sorry, it's a combo box. And then TBL learner dot first. Just like we did with the course table, but we have to do with the learner table. Wow, not TBL learner dot end of file do. Now we don't need a Boolean flag here, and Don't forget about the next. TBL learner dot next. I better do file save, or in case my computer crashes for some other reason. So we know we're going to fill up this combo box. We cleared it first, and then we're going to fill it up. Dot items dot add TBL learner square brackets learner name. I hope that's the way that I spelt it. Right, triple check. Yep, and then after that we can go put it in alphabetical order. CMB learner, CMB edit learner, not sorted. Okay, so now this code, I can sort of use most of it in this change this button, because I have to go through the table and find the RID. And I'm going to say if TBL learner name equals S name, the one chosen from the combo box, then begin and end. And I don't know why my computer's not giving automatic ends anymore. INUM will be equal to the learner ID, which is what we want, and we will stop the loop. Be found equals true, and I forgot to even put a be found equals false first. Oops, I don't need that, two of them. Be found equals false. We also need to go and put these two conditions in. Equal false. And we have our Boolean flag over here. So, well, if that and be found equals false, no, never, it doesn't go there, it goes here. Well, not TBL learner.end file and be found equals false if TBL learner equals S name. Then we got our number, and now guess what? You do the same thing all over again. So it is a long story. For each of these options we have no choice, we've got to put it in. Luckily we can copy and paste. Luckily. So there we go. Now we're going to go to the first row. Yes, we've got be found, it's fine. If the learner ID equals INUM, because we found the learner ID over here, not so. This kind of thing is easier to do with queries, quite honestly. Maybe we should use queries. Did we have any queries? Yeah, I think I'd rather do this with queries. Let's scrap this and use a query. Be much easier. Yeah, I'm going to delete everything. I'll do the, for these cases, I'll use a query. Yep, let's do a query for these two cases. So we get our INUM over there, and now we can use a query. And we must remember that we have to use a with, with statement, with, eng, dm, do, begin and end. Yeah, that's what my problem was. I never used my with statement. You have to do that. End, end of using the data module. And this must be the end of case. And this is the end of the procedure. What we have, that's the end of the while loop. and that's fine, and that's fine. So that is fine. We are going to use a query to change the learner. And how do we use a query? Well, we go to our data module, see it's called query ENG. So we say query ENG dot active equals false. Then you say query ENG dot SQL dot text colon equals, and then we say update the learner table. And this is very nice queries, this update and set. Update learner set learner email equal to, and then we're going to join that to a quoted str because it's a string we are putting in there, s email, join that to where learner ID equals, and join that to int to string num. And then you say, oh no, we don't use a false, we're going to use an exec SQL. We're going to say query ENG dot exec SQL. So there's your query. First, I don't know whether we've done update queries yet. I know we did a whole bunch of queries over here in reports. I'm not so sure. We'll go through them at some point, but I don't know whether we did update and set. I see a lot of select queries which you're supposed to have. You have to know about and do, but we haven't done an update and set. I don't think so. No. Okay, so here's our first update and set query. This is the edit learner tab sheet. So to change it, I'm using update and set, but first I must get my primary key number for the learner. Then if it's an email, we use this query, update learner, set learner email equal to, let's make sure I spelled it correctly, yes. Learner ID equal to quoted string s email. Where's the s email? Where did I get that from? Oh, it's from this new email, editing new email, okay? Where learner ID equals into string. Now remember that for this you must make sure you have spaces over there and over there, because you're joining this string to this string to this string here. Quoted str will put the two single inverted commas around a string. This is an integer going to access, so it's going to be seen as an integer in access, but you have to still convert it to a string here. But over here for strings you use quoted str, which means you're putting two single inverted commas around a string. And this update table name learner set this field equal to, then you have a space there, and it's very important to have those spaces. So what I'll do is I'll copy this because it's going to be used in the next and you see this is a whole lot easier and shorter than doing this and edit and post. We used edit and post already, so we don't need to do that again. And this is the learner cell, so I'm just changing that learner cell. What is it called? Learner cell, yeah. Into S cell. So that should work. Now we do want to see this displayed on the database grid, don't we? So before we carry on, we will do with the ADO table component, we do an active what's the name, and set the grid column width. So we go to the events for this actual tab sheet, the on-show event. There you'll see got the code there to, and the set grid column widths as well. We go back to the button and we're going to get, after we've done all the queries, we'll go and set the grid column widths and, well, disconnect and reconnect the table, and that will display on this database grid here the updated information and the set grid column widths to make sure that everything is nice and neat. DB grid 8, I think it was DB grid 8. Now let's check what database grid that is. It is DB grid 8. Right, let's run. And syntax error. Right, why is that? Ding dong, ding 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 ding. Okay, it might be right. Rightio, where are we? Ooh, we haven't got a button to go to edit learner, so we have to just go and do that. See? Right, we have to have a button to go to this page. Right, so which one? So let's say edit full name. Let's change email address. So, okay, joseph at hmail.com. Change this. So let's see, I've changed. Who did I change? Where's the email address? Learner email. Huh? Oh, gotta go down. Oh, there it is. Just got to make this larger so I can see. So that worked perfectly. Perfecto. So we have something to change, the email address and so on. We have to get a button to navigate to that main page. So let's go to, you see you've got arrows there to go to all the different ones. We need to, this go to edit must be actually going to that TVS edit learner. Oh, it is there. Okay, fine. Let's go and see if it works. Remember we had add learner, which was going to go and do that one as well. And then we had edit learner, so that's going to the right one. Okay, now we've changed two little things using super duper awesome SQL queries. For some reason it basically split it right across, didn't it? Move it over there. Let's see what it looks like now. Go to edit learner. Okay, right, so it's only going to show those things. So you see what I've done, so that only that gets displayed. And then of course we have all our names here in alphabetical order. Now what if we want to go and change the account balance and their marks from a text file? So that's going to be in the next episode. Okay, see you just now.